Ahoy there, and welcome to Pirates Parley. Today we'll be walking you through the classic game Merchants and Marauders, with an actual merchant and an actual marauder. This game is somewhat involved, so let's get started.
Let's get down to business. Firstly, to prepare the play area. The Caribbean can be a very profitable trade route for buying and selling goods. These were the days of unique opportunities for respectable traders.
Aye, 'twas also an era that favoured the bold, with so many rich prizes to be found. It's no wonder that so many different business models arose from the climate, some more clever than others.
Putting up with filthy pirates was an unfortunate downside.
Prissy bookworm.
Let's just get the game set up.
First, shuffle and place the 7 decks of cards. Except for the ship cards, you can skip those. Give each captain a player board and everyone picks a color, taking those plastic ships and wooden cubes. The brown and black ships are placed nearby. Each player also gets a treasure chest to stash their profits in and a starting budget of 10 gold pieces. We'll also need the dice. They can be kind or they can be cruel. Locate the demand tokens and randomly place one face up on each location in every sea zone save for the Caribbean Sea itself. These represent the goods which are in short supply in these ports. Next, place one random ship modification token in the same way, except these are placed face down. They can be purchased to enhance your ship's performance. Now, place one merchant token on every sea zone, including the Caribbean Sea, with their nationality face down. They are friendly traders who are just minding their own business, moving cargo for a profit. No doubt the filthy buccaneers among you will see these transports only as potential prizes.
What?
Randomly draw one captain card and have a look at its attributes and abilities. These statistics may influence your gameplay choices. Next, all players will secretly decide between a sloop or a flute as a starting ship. The flute is a good choice for merchants, since it has greater cargo capacity.
Whereas the sloop is a wily wee ship which can run circles around them mercantile slugs. Guess which one I picked?
Everyone reveals their captains and ships, placing them in the appropriate spots on the player boards. Then, place your ship figure on your captain's home port. Your ship will detail its specifications, and at this point, place your cubes on the matching numbers. The final cube from each player will be added to the glory track. This will record your overall proximity to victory. The first one to 10 has won the game.
There are in fact many ways to collect these points according to your approach as a player and what you have to work with.
And when you score a glory point, you also get a glory card, and you can hold up to 4 of them in your hand. You can score glory points as a merchant,
Or a marauder.
by completing missions,
Or following rumors.
for making sensible upgrades,
Or burying treasure.
even hunting pirates. Either way, everyone starts with a glory card.
Ooh.
And determine the start player.
Oh, sure. I'll give you a head start.
The start player draws 2 mission cards and reads them off one at a time, placing them in the indicated locations. To keep your play area more orderly, place a corresponding token on the board rather than the card itself.
Come on, Martha Stewart. Less arts and crafts, more pillaging.
I think we're ready for the round order now.
Alright, a round consists of 3 steps. Draw event card, then player actions, and finally, end of round actions. To start things off, the first player draws an event card and reads it out loud. It will have a set of actions and conditions, or else it'll be a ship. If it's a ship, place it on the space matching its flag. If there's already one present, place it on top and mark it as a reminder that it's new. Either way, the ship will deploy at the end of the round. If it's not a ship, it will have directions at the top. These will happen first. Each flag will show a direction that the NPC ship must go. If the direction is available, move the ship to the next space. If there is no such direction, figure out where that direction would be and move clockwise until passages become possible. Then read off the rest of the text. It may be a storm, or maybe a war. Just read it and obey. An exception to this NPC movement is called Hunt Priority.
Come on, we'll fill them in later. I need to shoot something.
Unwashed and impatient. What a charming fellow.
In fact, if an NPC ship needs to move, it will ignore those orders and hunt a player in an adjacent space according to hunt priority. Naval ships are hostile towards any player whose nation is at war with theirs or has a bounty from their nation. Pirates are hostile to any non-pirate players, but they will hunt in this priority order. If you have gold on board, you're their top priority. If you have cargo, then you're next. And if you have neither, they will still enter your space in favor of following their orders.
So always be yourself, unless you can be a pirate.
Or just keep a safe distance.
When it's your turn, you get to do a grand total of 3 actions. Move, scout, and/or port. The start player goes first, of course, and then round the table until everyone is acted.
Let's start with move. Each sea zone, save for the Caribbean Sea, has a port. In fact, you begin the game in your home port. It costs 1 action to move to or from a port or sea zone. So you could, from a port, go sea zone, port. 3 actions. That's it.
Ooh, action-packed.
You cannot enter a port if your nation is at war with that nation. You can see your nationality on your captain's portrait. Also, if you have a bounty from that nation, you cannot move to or enter that port.
Speaking of port, that's another thing you can do, and it's where the good stuff is. If you be on a port space already, use a port action and go to town.
When you perform a port action, immediately flip the ship modification token. This item is now for sale. Now, you have a few options. First of all, if you are carrying any cargo cards that you wish to sell, you must complete the transaction before doing anything else. The starting price of all goods is 3 gold apiece. That is, unless the cargo in question matches the in-demand token, in which case they are worth 6 apiece. That's a tidy profit. If you sell these, then they are no longer in demand. Return the token to the supply and draw a random replacement. And if you sell 3 or more of any kind of in-demand cargo, you get a glory point and a glory card.
After selling the junk in your trunk, the port is your playground, and you can do any of the following activities once per turn. Buy goods, visit the shipyard, recruit, acquire a rumor, claim a mission, or stash some gold.
Let's first buy goods. Draw 6 cargo cards and take a look. Any item matching the demand token is discarded and replaced. Look at your ship and see how much room you've got. A flute can hold 4 cards. So let's see. The starting price for cargo is the same as when selling cargo. 3 gold. But since we wish to buy low and sell high, look for items they have plenty of for discounts. Like so. If there are 2 of a kind, the price drops to 2 gold each. And if there is 3 or more of any one kind of item, they cost mere 1 gold each. Once an item is discounted, it matters not how many of those you purchase, the price holds. You must reveal the cards to claim the discount, as it's difficult to trust anyone in these troubled times.
Gentlemen of fortune.
Place your newly purchased cargo neatly in your hold and take a look around for nearby ports where that item is in demand for maximum profit.
Now let's visit the shipyard and give the old bucket some fancy upgrades. You can buy the ship modification there for 3 gold, if there is one. These do all kinds of neat things, so check the cheat sheet to read about any helpful bonuses they might give. You can also grab yourself some special weapons for gaining the upper hand against an enemy ship. These also cost 3 gold a pop. There's a limit of 1 per type for ship mods and special weapons, so try to get the ones you need most first. You can also repair your ship for 2 gold per each point of damage. Also, if you've saved up your hard-earned gold for a new ride, you can do that here as well. Just sell your old one according to the price chart on the player aid or rulebook. A sloop, for instance, sells for 5, adding 1 point for each modification, but subtracting 1 for each point of damage, not counting missing crew. Then throw down the cash for a new ship. In this case, a galleon. Change the basic stats to match your new boat, but don't change the crew. For that matter, leave special weapons and cargo as well. There's adventure ahead. Isn't that right, Captain Calculator?
You lost me at hard-earned, sleazy degenerate. But no matter. Next is recruit. And since our aromatic friend here has a new ship with plenty of room for those ruffians of his, he will roll to attempt to fill it up. Take the number of dice shown on your captain card under the sword icon. This represents your leadership. Roll that number of dice and look for a success, which are the skull icons. Even 1 success will do it. And as I suspected, his charisma fails to impress anyone. But fear not, there's still a way to win some crew to your ship.
Bribery.
If your roll fails, you can buy some crew for 2 gold each, up to your capacity, naturally. Now, let's try to acquire a rumor.
I got this one, Junior. Like that last undertaking, you'll roll for it. But unlike recruiting, this one requires a bit of coin first. Pay your 2 gold to play, then roll your influence. This is the number next to the chest. And what do you know? A success! Now I'll be drawing a rumor card and checking it out. If you already have a rumor card, pick the one you want to keep and then shuffle the other back in. The card will generally tell you to head somewhere and do something. And if all goes well, good things happen.
I heard a rumor you almost won a game once.
I heard you play Twister with a squid.
Claim a mission. If there's a mission card, or a token corresponding to one, look for the requirement to acquire this card and perform it. It will often involve doing a check. As we previously demonstrated, any check requires rolling the indicated number of dice and checking for any positive result. Check the attributes on your captain's card. The wheel is your seamanship.
We'd like to take a moment to point out that this game is for ages 13 and up, though the maturity requirement isn't indicated.
The spyglass is scouting. The sword and chest, as previously mentioned, are your leadership and influence, respectively. If you claim the mission, place it on your board and then replace it with a new one, reading it aloud and moving to its location.
Lastly is stash gold. This happens only at your home port, unless told otherwise. So grab a shovel and get digging, because we're burying this treasure for later. Drop some cash in your secret box or make a withdrawal, though you don't have to reveal how much is in there. This gold is protected against thievery, and increments of 10 in this box are good for 1 glory point each. It's a sneaky way to win the game. Get your opponent's guard down, and then shout, "Ha! Victory belongs to yours truly, you poxy lubber!"
This exact phrase is not actually required to claim the win. These are all the port actions. We now proceed to scouting.
Scouting may be done when you are in a sea space with any other...
That's my cue. Out of my chair. I'll take it from here. When you find yourself in a sea zone containing a merchant token, an NPC ship, or an enemy player, then you can scout for said enemy if you'd like to try your hand at blowing holes in their ship. It goes like this. Declare what you're scouting for. Actually, it could even be a card that requires a scouting check. Then roll your scouting, which is the spyglass number on your captain card. If you fail, nothing happens, and you can't scout this particular enemy again this turn. If you got any successes, you've done it. What happens next depends on what you scouted.
If I may, because I actually make sense when I talk, bear in mind that if any of the locations on your ship are destroyed, you cannot instigate a merchant raid. But if not, and if it's a merchant token, then follow these steps. Flip the token face up and determine its nationality. It can be the nationality shown or the nationality of the sea space. You get to decide. You also get to decide whether to attack or to let it go, which is the nice thing to do.
Aye, but who plays a pirate game to be nice? If you choose to simply watch it sail away, just move it to the merchant track. How boring. If you decide to be a proper pirate, then you've kicked off a good old-fashioned merchant raid. Check it out. First, move the token to the merchant track anyway, and then add yourself a bounty from the merchant's nationality. You're officially a pirate, mate. If you already have a bounty from said nation, move it up a level instead. You're getting famous now. Draw 3 cargo cards and ignore the items at the top. The gold number is its plunder value, which tells you how much gold can be won. The other symbols are the merchant's defense. Some will damage a particular area of your ship, and some will help the merchant to escape. Just so you know, 12 gold in one raid gets you a glory point, if you're successful. And if there are equal or greater escape icons to your ship's maneuverability, the ship will get away, matey. So here's what you do. Roll your seamanship. And check for successes. These'll do you good. You can discard any of your special weapons to turn a fail into a success. Doesn't matter which, really. For each one of these successes, you can elect to do one of the following. Draw an additional card, adding it to the others. Discard a card. That means removing the defense, but also the possible gold. And finally, exchange a card. Take one out and bring in a fresh one. What you do is up to you. At least you have options.
He's right. You have options. But let me show you what happens now. Each location indicated takes a hit of damage. Even if the ship escapes, you still took some blasts. Still feeling good, Captain?
Worth it.
Now, if any of these locations are reduced to 0, you lose immediately. If the hull hits 0, you lose and you're dead. We'll explain that one later.
Aye, what he says is true. But the upside is that if you didn't fail, and the ship didn't escape, you get to take the total gold, as well as any of the cards you wish to keep, so long as you have room for them. Everything else discards. And again, if you get 12 gold in this raid, you also get that glory point and glory card. That's the pirate's life.
Now let's say you scouted a plastic ship, be it NPC or actual player. We now proceed to naval combat. You sure you wish to do this, Captain?
I can say with the most certainty of which I have ever sworn an oath, I can take you or any other poxy tugboat as surely as I could tie me own shoes.
While trying to mask his own self-doubt, the captain nervously entered battle. Shoes untied.
When doing combat with an NPC ship, another player would control the actions and the dice of that vessel, and they have to play like they mean to win. Take a card matching that ship's type and copy the stats to the board with the brown cubes. That's if battling an NPC. But in this case, the scoundrel is showing his true colors and coming straight for me.
I know you are, but what am I? Time to put holes in boats. When attacking a navy ship or a non-pirate player, such as this tight-pantsed fellow,
A player is considered a pirate when they have one or more bounties on their board. A non-pirate has none.
aye, non-pirate. It wasn't meant as a compliment. In that case, you would add a bounty to your board according to any nationality that captain might represent. If you have one already, bump it up a notch, just like last time. Now to make our declarations. Your choices are shoot, board, or flee. But since this be only round 1, we are required to shoot.
Curses. He's right.
So he means to shoot, and I mean to shoot. Next we roll our... what was it again?
Seamanship. Oh, gee.
It just doesn't get old!
I disagree. Now, if your ship has 2 or more points greater maneuverability, you add an extra die to your roll.
I knew I should have kept that sloop. Well, then we roll.
The most successes determines the winner. If no one rolls any successes, go back to declaration. If the players tie, count up the value of the numbered dice. If you're still tied, both players are considered losers in this contest.
I think we can all agree with that.
Now we go to action. In this case, both captains chose shoot. So the winner rolls a number of dice equal to their current cannons, while the loser, or losers, rolls the number of successes they rolled up to the number of current available cannons.
Time to apply some damage. Those results you rolled are placed next to the section they're destined to hit. Just match up the numbers.
The skill results will be placed wherever the target player wishes, even the hull. If a location is reduced below 1, it's considered destroyed. Remove the cube until it can be repaired. Any other damage that would hit that location now hits the hull instead. Damaged cargo areas mean you'll need to discard random cards if needed. If your cannons are knocked out, you can't shoot. If your masts are destroyed, you can only shoot. You're now dead in the water, and you roll only 1 die during the initial contest. And if you lose all your crew, you can only shoot or flee. And if your hull level reaches 0, well, you're dead. And again, we'll deal with that soon.
Brutal. Also a good time to use some of your special weapons. The grape shot ensures a skull result will hit the crew, whereas the chain shot ensures it'll hit nothing but mast.
During the declaration, you can try to flee instead. If both players pick flee, the combat ends. But if not, you must win the contest to end combat. The naval combat continues until someone flees or one ship's hull is reduced to 0. If you manage to defeat an NPC ship, remove the captain card and the ship, unless there is another captain beneath the vanquished one. If there are multiple captains, randomize them. Either way, move the ship to the port according to the new captain's text.
You can also attempt to board by picking that during the declaration. If you win the contest, the attack turns into crew combat until one captain is victorious. Your grappling hook can help you arrange that, and swivel guns can sweeten the deal if you do. Each player now rolls leadership, dealing any successes directly to the enemy crew until one of you hits 0. Now the best part about crew combat is the ability to plunder. If you beat an NPC naval ship in crew combat, draw 3 cargo cards and remove 1 for each point of damage it took to the cargo section during the battle. Don't remember? Check against the ship card. The remaining cards show you how much gold to receive. Spend it wisely. Now, take a bounty in the usual way. These nations don't love it when you outgun their ships. If you like their ship better than yours, you can claim it. Swap the ship cards and the toy. Swap the current stats, including damage, but not the crew. They're stubborn. You can keep the special weapons, but the mods go down with the ship. Shuffle them and distribute to appropriate empty spaces of your choice. If the ship you defeated was another player, do everything I mentioned above, but also take their gold. Any unstashed gold is now yours. Yo-ho! Then take their glory cards. Viciously remove their cargo cards. Heartlessly acquire any and all rumors. Savagely relocate any special weapons. And finally, press gang their specialists. Aye, we're taking everything. And the kitchen sink here. It's good to be bad.
Speaking of being bad, if the player you plunder is a pirate,
Meaning they have 1 or more bounties. This term has little to do with their fashion choices or atrocious accents.
if they are a pirate, you may collect a reward from a nation that has put bounties on them. Pick one of the nations, though you cannot be at war with that nation or have bounties from that nation yourself, and receive a reward for destroying that pirate in the form of 5 gold per bounty. So if that pirate has a bounty on the 2nd level, you get 10, or 15 for the 3rd level, etc., etc.
Huh?
And if you defeat an NPC pirate, the reward is a blanket 5 gold for a sloop or 10 gold for a frigate. But you must not be a pirate yourself to collect said bounty. It's a lucrative business. Well, let's lighten the mood a little and talk about death. Well, death and retirement, as it turns out, are in fact very similar. If you die, discard your captain, ship, all cards, special weapons, gold, and bounty tokens. Then, draw a new captain and look at his or her home port. If there's a pirate NPC there, you're allowed a replacement. Then choose a new starting ship as before and set up the board as you did initially. You get 10 starting gold unless you have stashed gold, in which case you draw 10 from your stash to start with. If you have less than 10, draw what you can and take the rest from the supply. Your turn is now over.
Retirement is a similar business. Just do what he said. Except you have to have started your turn in a port. The reason to do this is if your ship is full of holes and you're just too stingy to fix it. Or if you need quick forgiveness from a pile of bounties. Or if you just aren't enjoying your particular captain's company.
After everyone has had a turn, the round is over. Move any ships waiting to deploy to their new ports and start a new round.
This crazy career of yours continues until one player achieves 10 glory points. And as mentioned before, the ending could be a surprise, since stashed gold is an amount unknown to the other players. You will get points for completing missions or rumors, defeating players or NPCs, sell 3 or more in-demand cargo, plundering 12 gold in a merchant raid, or buying a galleon or frigate, though this point can only be gained once per game. All of these in addition to the points gained from stashed gold.
Anytime a glory point is gained, move your marker up the track 1 point and take a glory card. And that's it. A game so simple, even he could understand.
That's it! Get out of my chair! No merchant is gonna befoul my throne!
Merchant? Well, in that case... Yeah! Yarr!
Well, that's all the time we have for this Pirates Parley. Thanks for stopping in, and please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. We'd like to give a special shout out to Keegan Little and Jeremy Williams, our 2 newest patrons. To support our merry band of misfits, check us out on Patreon and enjoy the rewards that follow. Be sure to stop in again next time. You're going to want to see who survives this.